Hi, everybody. Man, I apologize for those of you all who've been out with us here on this plaza time and time again. This is the quietest it's ever been. I don't hear any horns honking, and I apologize for that. Normally it just happens. We don't even have anything to do about it. Those of you who were with us during the horn honking days, and I know May Beavers and Carrie Lynn Weaver and a whole host of these folks wasn't it a much more pleasant experience, and didn't it smell so much nicer when it was us rather than the occupiers? In all the time that the horn honking took place, not a single crime was committed. We were blamed on a couple, but not a single one was committed. In all the time that the Tea Party has been rallying all over the country, you haven't seen arrest and vandalism and rape and burning of American flags. What a difference there is, and I'm telling you, the American people are seeing the difference. And come November, they'll vote that difference. I've been doing political events for a long time, and I've been responsible for advancing events and putting them together. If I ever would have thought I could put together an event at the end of February outside and have this weather, I mean, this is the one you kind of like want to save up in the storage tank for when you've got a really good deal going. This is one to play it. Because this is a time when Tennessee actually has a spotlight, when what we do next Tuesday is really going to matter. You know, for a long time when we've gotten to Super Tuesday, it's kind of been Super Tuesday's fizzle rather than been like fireworks. But Tennessee matters. 10 states are going to have primaries or caucuses next Tuesday, and you've got some states like Virginia where there's really not a battle. You've got other states where, you know, the candidates seem to have something in line. But here in Georgia, where Newt Gingrich is from, Ohio, are really battleground states. So we're going to get our time. And for the first time in a long time, what you do between now and Tuesday matters. So talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors. A lot of folks haven't been engaged in the process so far because the campaigns have been campaigning in the New Hampshires and the Floridas and Arizonas and Michigans. But now it's our time. Starting about 7 o'clock tomorrow when the polls close in Michigan and Arizona, it's Tennessee's time. So folks need to be ready to get the excitement going, and that really starts here today. You know, we're blessed to have a lot of great legislators that have helped turn the tide in Tennessee. You know, Tennessee for a long time was one of those places that you had pockets of conservatism, and you had pockets where there was growth and there was a sense of a new day in Tennessee. But now you've seen this state turn red in recent years. And we need to make sure we don't turn it back in any place, in any location, not 1 inch, to make sure that Tennessee continues on a track where conservative values aren't just something we talk about, but something we do. And what we're seeing with the state legislature, and I know May's here, I know Carrie Lynn Weaver's here, I know we've got other legislators, I don't want to overlook them. But I'm telling you that what we're seeing with a Tennessee legislature, with a Republican Senate, a Republican governor, and a Republican House, we're seeing stuff get done, and they're going to be out of session long before we get to those June or July horn honking type of days. They're getting the job done right, they're getting it done in a timely manner, and we can be proud of the job they're doing. So again, I would ask you to lift your hands for our folks in the legislature who are doing it right. You know, we've got tough times in this country. You know, we're being told that the economy is improving. You know, we've been told by some of the top advisors to the President of the United States that the unemployment lines actually help our economy. Valerie Jarrett, the top advisor of the President, actually last week said that all those unemployment checks are good because people take it out and they spend that money. Unemployment is good. I don't know how many times they have to say it before the American people start saying, what are these people talking about? These are the same ones that are trying to tell us that the higher gas prices we're paying. Remember, it was $1.87 the day Barack Hussein Obama became President of the United States. It's now $3.52 here, over $4 in some places, headed towards $6 a gallon. And they're telling us that's an indication that the economy is improving, that the more you pay at the gas pump is good news for you and your family. How many people are buying this baloney? Do you think high unemployment is an indication of an economy that works for America? No. Do you think high gas prices are an indication that our families are going to be able to use our money to go better for our families? Or is it going to go into the pockets of those who've been handed green contracts by the Obama administration? We need to get a grip in this country that everything they're saying is literally topsy-turvy. Up is down is up, right is left. We can't believe anything they're saying. And that's why it's going to be more important than ever for you to be informed But when somebody says something that they hear on the nightly news, when they say something they've been given as the talking points of the left, that you're going to be able to say, here's the honest truth. Gas prices were $1.87 the day this president became president. They're higher now. Is that good for you and your family? Of course not. Unemployment was below 8% when this president took office. It's been as high as 9 and may be back above that number as early as the next month. That's not good for our economy no matter what they say. The truth will out between now and November. Now, a lot of folks are looking at the polls and are questioning, can we really win? There are going to be about 10 states that matter in this election. Really about 10. Tennessee, by the time we get to November, is going to be solidly in the right column. I don't care who our nominee is. We need to pick the best nominee to make sure we win. But Tennessee will do what's right in November. There are another 10 states, Virginia, Nevada, New Mexico, North Carolina, Florida, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, the usual suspects, where we have to win those states to make sure we take America back from the brink of absolute destruction. But the good news is, they're not doing as well in those states as they did 4 years ago, no matter what the mainstream media tells us. You know, in North Carolina, Barack Obama carried that state by 10,000 votes last time. 10,000 votes. Anybody here think he's 10,000 votes as popular as he was last time, where the unemployment is higher and gas prices are higher, and people have seen him abandon not only Israel and the Jews, but Catholics and evangelical Christians? Do you think he's more popular there than he was last time? A year after he got elected in Virginia, there was a 20-point swing from Democrat to Republican after they saw just 1 year of Barack Obama. Do you think Virginia is going to be an easier time for him this time than it was last time? When you look at the unemployment rates in Pennsylvania and Ohio, when you look at Nevada, where he basically told people, don't go do business there, don't take your money there, do you think they're really going to be loving on him like they did 4 years ago? Of course not. Now, that doesn't mean our route is easy. That doesn't mean our path is going to be one that's not going to be difficult. But I'm telling you, we can win if we will beat them with the truth. You know, one of my old uncles up in Smith County, Tennessee, said a long time ago that the difference in politicians on the left and the right is they've got to lie and hope it sticks, and all we have to do is tell the truth. Unfortunately, the truth's easier to keep track of than all those lies they've been spewing for the last 4 years. The bottom line is the election is going to be in our hands soon enough. But it really starts here, and it starts now. We've got to pick somebody that can carry the mantle, that is going to bring enthusiasm, who is going to mobilize people with heart and passion, who can take complicated issues and make it understandable to the American people, so they don't get all muddled up and mixed up and confused by a bunch of mumbo-jumbo from Washington, D.C. Newt Gingrich has been doing that for a long time. I told him just a few minutes ago, I said, you know, one of the best comments I've heard from you lately is pointing out that you can't put a rifle rack in a vault. I mean, that's stuff that the American people just kind of get. We get those things very understandably. You know, it's not complicated. We can figure that out. When it comes to the kinds of issues that are complicated and difficult for those in Washington, for the elitist, he makes it simple for us to understand. Not because it's simple-minded, as Ronald Reagan pointed out, but because what's right is really not all that complicated. When you get to a time when folks are being put in charge of their own country, it is sometimes a situation that makes you a bit nervous. You know, we've got tough problems facing our country. We've got big challenges, and I know a lot of people are worried, not only about their jobs, about their economy, about the future for our kids and our grandkids. But 200 years ago, we had founding fathers who were just as concerned. They were family men. They weren't just bronze statues. They weren't just marble busts. They were people who had emotion, who had families, who were just as concerned in human terms about the decisions they were making. They were scared. They were fighting the greatest nation on earth, and they had no chance at winning. But they were willing to put themselves, their fortunes, their families, everything they had on the line for freedom. Every generation in America gets called upon to pass something on to our next generation, to do what our founders did, to say this is our time. We will step up and make our responsibility to leave a better America than the one we got. My friends, this is our time, and it is our time to pick leaders that can get us there. God bless you, and God bless this great country, and I'd like to introduce to you one of the leaders for Newt Gingrich in the state of Tennessee, State Representative Tony Shipley.